Hi there, and welcome to FunnelPlus. FunnelPlus is all about advanced funnel analysis. It gives you so much more insight than you can get from the native funnel visualizations within Google Analytics. It's a very powerful tool, and I just want to sort of talk you through how you can get set up and creating the first custom funnel and what we can start doing with it. So once you've created an account, you'll see something like this. This is your FunnelPlus dashboard, accessible at any time via clicking this icon up here. If we go ahead and click Add New, you should get something like this, where we can select the analytics account, property and profile view that we want to be using as our basis for analysis. Now once you've selected all this stuff, if there are goals, conversions already configured within Google Analytics, FunnelPlus will communicate directly with that and will pull all the steps down into the FunnelPlus interface here. You can see there's this error message here, quite obviously saying that there's nothing within that profile view that we could find, but no worries, because what I want to do is to spend some time looking at this function too, where we've got create new and edit, so we can make our own funnels within FunnelPlus that will not necessarily have to appear within GA. Now that's kind of cool for two reasons. The first is that anything that you define as a conversion, as a goal within Google Analytics, is of course going to influence the overall conversion rate. So if I want to map an individual set of pathway through the website, maybe going from page 1, page 2, page 3, and that's not necessarily a conversion, if I set that up as a goal within GA to look at the funnel, it's going to be influencing the site-wide conversion rate, which is obviously bad for the rest of your reporting. The other reason why why FunnelPlus is cool is that you can create funnels based on steps that are either page views or events, and you can have a mix of the two as well. So you can throw all these things together to create very complex and actionable funnels if you need to, which again is not possible within Google Analytics, which will only be able to understand individual page views as funnel steps. It will allow an event as a goal completion, but the actual funnel steps at this time anyway must only be page views. So it's very limiting, and it's only when you start really using FunnelPlus as your kind of de facto way of monitoring funnel conversion rates and completion rates that you really get to understand and appreciate how kind of basic Google Analytics' funnel visualization is in comparison. So let's get stuck in then. We'll start with this, giving everything a name. I'm going to call it My Funnel, just as a test funnel. I hope that you managed to think of a more exciting name when you're creating your first one. And as you can see, we're using this website trickybet.net. Let's just go and take a look at what TrickyBet's got. It's a bunch of kind of calculators and resources for online sports wagering. And if we say, for example, we want to track when people are coming through to the home page and then they're going to this, which is the basic lay calculator, and then going through to the advanced lay calculator. Let's say that that's the funnel that we want to be tracking. We've got 3 individual page views, so it's pretty easy to get set up. Now if I go to the funnel creation area, we'll start with the step name. I'll call it home page. Whatever I put in here is going to be populating reports, and you can change it at a later date, but it's good having something that's very easy to understand. And I personally prefer having the name of the page or the name of the event rather than step 1, step 2, step 3. Just makes it a bit more understandable by lots and lots of people that you might be reporting to. Now we know that the way that the homepage URL appears in Google Analytics is just that character. However, the way that the regular expressions works, and I'm guessing you know bits about regular expressions. If not, then might be worth having half an hour. It'll be the best half hour you spend on YouTube all week learning about regular expressions. But what you have to do is you have to put a $ at the end, which means stop. So we want it to say only match when you only have that, when it's just the home page, when it's just that character by itself, and don't match anything after that. That goes in there and you can see it's there as our first step. The second step, let's just go and check the URL. This was lay calculator basic, so I've got that. So let me just jump back in here, and then we'll just let's call it basic calc. And then if I just start typing it, lay calculator dash basic, come up with this. So there we go. And then we then got the second step in there, and then you can see this coming, can't you? You think, I know what he's going to do. It's advanced calc, and then this is what we're going to go for, lay dash calculator. But again, the way that regular expressions works is that if I just have that there, it's also going to match the basic one because the URLs are the same head. So what I want to do is I just want to pop that $ in there as well to say stop. You can see now over here I can change the order if I really want to. So if I wanted to see people that go from the home page then to the advanced, and I think, oh, hang on, that's a bit too crazy for me, maybe I'll just go back to the basic one. Again, within FunnelPlus you can make that change and then see how it looks in real time and retroactively. Very, very important point. If I hit save, you can see exactly what I mean by retroactively. It literally now is going back and it's interrogating Google Analytics and showing me what that funnel completion has been like over the last 30 days. So for example, we look here, you can see 441 people accessed the home page. Of those, 85.7% then at some stage went on to look at the basic. 79.9% of those went through to the advanced, and that gives me overall between this figure and this figure funnel completion rate here of 68.5%. And you can see that the way it's done it's sort of pulling these down for each week that we've got, and I'm getting the overall percentage rates in terms of completion. I can see actually it kind of dipped a bit here around the 11th and then got back up again on the 18th. And this is a really cool thing by itself. If you know that there were changes made to your let's say your conversion process or your checkout, you know that they were made like 6 weeks ago, FunnelPlus can show you what your completion rates were like before and after, whereas if you go into GA and you just make that sort of funnel setup now, it's only going to work from today onwards. They're not retroactive. And this is all great, of course, but this is only really scratching at the surface as to what FunnelPlus can do. If we want to say by selecting the date range here, I might just go yesterday. So now it's showing me exactly what happened on the site yesterday. So I had a pretty good conversions or pretty good conversion flow through there yesterday. Down here we've got all these dimensions, which you will recognize, I guess, lots of them from Google Analytics. And this is where FunnelPlus gets super awesome. Let's have a look at browser. Let me just pick this up here, drag over here and drop down, and you'll see that what it's done, it's taken the same stuff for yesterday's date and it's broken everything down by browser. So now I can see that while Safari users are not converting the best, Internet Explorer and Firefox are doing particularly well. This is very good, of course, for troubleshooting and for bug fixing. A lot of the time you'll be thinking that if you only use Chrome or you only use Firefox, that things are working perfectly, and maybe when you're looking at it this way you can see sort of different statistics. And interestingly, let's look at the numbers. There's more gamblers using Chrome and Firefox than the others, so what does that tell you? I'm not quite sure. Likewise, we can have a look at the source. We can have a look at the traffic source instead, and then just sort of see, well, these are where people are coming from. The one guy from Reddit failed to do anything. The guys from Bing are obviously very interested in it, so I can see how individual traffic sources are contributing, and having this sort of different funnel completions, if you like, can be very, very useful if you're doing lots and lots of campaigns, and you want to see exactly how people are converting when they respond to individual campaigns. And again, this is something which I guess you could probably do with a bit of a fudge and an Excel splodge around within GA. But it wouldn't be terribly easy to pull together. So I've spoken about what FunnelPlus can do in terms of page views, and we've seen that, but as you see, I've mentioned as well that we can do stuff with events. Now on this the advanced lay calculator page, we've got people accessing this page, and then we've got these here where there are events being triggered here. I think if I go over to here, no, to this one, you can see we've got this event category calc tools, and then if we then duck into there, you can see that the event action is slide, so I can see when everybody is sliding. And what we could do with this is within FunnelPlus, sorry, let me get this right, we would say, I just pop these in again, dun, dun, dun. So what we will do is create a new funnel, and we'll start with saying we want it to be a page view of people that have accessed this page. So I might just grab that and drop that in, so it's the page, and of course, hang on, we drop that in there, and of course need to have the dollar sign so it doesn't match the basic one anymore, no problem. Now for my second step, I'm not going to select page, I'm going to select event, and we'll call that used slider maybe, and then by all you need to do is just kind of check back to your analytics report, and we say, yeah, the event action equals slide, no problem. Sorry, there is a problem if I go to the wrong tab. All you do, just drop a slide in there. Whatever you specify in here must then be carried through into FunnelPlus, right? So as you see, when I've just specified action slide, any event that gets called with slide as the action will count as an event step. So if I want to lock it down a bit more, and I maybe want to say, well, slide, and then the label, if I have a label in there that sort of says the integer by which somebody was sliding, or what they were doing when they were sliding, then I can lock it down a bit further, and you'll see what happens on that in just a sec. If I then hit save, oh, it's saying please name your funnel. Let me call that eventy funnel. I'll put a Y at the end as well, funnily enough. That was a joke. Save funnel, and again you can see it's doing its thing here. It is loading. There we go. 461 people accessed the page, advanced calc, and then 461 of them used the slider. And maybe let's kind of roll that back to the last 30 days and see if I can see anyone that doesn't access. See, there you go, it's almost 100% right the way along, which is of course suggesting that when somebody is here on this page, they are here to use this function, so they're actually using it nicely. Now that might be a good suggestion that says, well, hang on a sec, even though we've got almost 100%, we haven't quite got 100%, so maybe we can sort of think about making it a bit easier for people to understand what they're supposed to be doing on that page. But again, note that this is something which you cannot do within Google Analytics, and when you're thinking about let's say a payment page or a registration page that's only served on one page, isn't it? The page who never changes, the only way you'll be able to track funnel abandonment and completion is going to be by using events in this way. So as I say, play around with all this stuff. You know, you can mix around with browser. You can then kind of move under browser as well and say after browser, let's pop the source in. So let's have a look at people from Firefox. How did they go? Look at all those 100%. Isn't that fantastic? Play around, get stuck in. FunnelPlus is a really awesome tool that gives you an incredible amount of insight, and I guarantee, well, I don't have any guarantee, it's one of those guarantees, folks, but I do guarantee in a very sort of stern recommended way that once you start playing around with FunnelPlus, it will become your de facto funnel reporting. Nothing else comes close. Any problems, of course, there's this thing at the very bottom. How can this page be improved for you? Great way to contact support. Support is very reactive and loving to hear what you have to say. So that's it. Thank you very much.